Hi, I'm Colleen Saidman Yee, and this is a brief history of UZIT, which was formerly known as the Urban Zen Integrative Therapy Program. It's now a separate company called UZIT. UZIT began when Donna Karen's late husband passed, and she called us because she needed help. She also wanted to fulfill her dying husband's wish, which was to take care of the doctors and the nurses and the healthcare providers who had been so pivotal in his process. So we sat down to dinner and we discussed, how can we make his wish come true? And from that, the seed of UZIT was planted. So how are we going to actualize this and bring it out into the world? It just so happened that Eve Ensler called, and she was hosting an event at the Superdome in New Orleans for the survivors of Hurricane Katrina. So we went down armed with our posse of different practitioners in Reiki and nutrition and essential oils, and of course our expertise in yoga. 6,000 people showed up. We had the privilege, really, and the honor of serving 6,000 survivors over 4 days. What we realized during those 4 days is that these modalities worked so beautifully in unison. From that, we came back to New York, and Donna likes to do things big. So we hosted a wellness forum. It was 10 days long, and over 1,500 healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, pioneers in the field of wellness in general showed up. Our main question to them was, how can we help? They stood on the stage and told us that the system was broken and they did need our help. From that, we decided that we needed a much larger posse to put this work out into the world. So we started a training program. And that's what Rodney and I do. We train teachers. It was in 2009. It was a year-long program, and these teachers were trained in all of these modalities. They were then sent out into the world, across the country, working in healthcare facilities. The efficacy was so great that we wanted to actually prove it. So we began a study at Beth Israel Hospital. It was 24 beds on one floor of an oncology ward. What that showed was that we saved the hospital $1 million over 1 year, mainly in pain medication and length of stay. So now we actually had the science behind us, if you will, and felt even more confident to then spread this now globally. And then we began implementing it in more than just hospitals. We went into addiction centers, we worked with vets, we went into the prisons, and then we realized, heck, let's do it in our homes. We started doing it on our partners, on our children, even on the pets, honestly. Even schools, corporations could benefit from these modalities, from the UZIT method. We even have an example of Rodney's sister trained in the UZIT method. She works with special ed children, and she would go in and give the program, and one of the children was known as the screamer, because that's what he did. That's how he expressed himself. Maybe it was his frustration, I don't know, but she started giving restorative poses and would walk around giving Reiki. What ended up happening is this screamer, whenever Val walked in the room, would put himself on the floor in the restorative pose and wait for Val to give him Reiki. And to care for others, we need to care for ourselves. You can't give if your own battery is empty, is depleted. So self-care is really the first part of this process of being able to truly serve the world and bring relief. For instance, if you've just had a disturbing phone call, or if you have to go into a business meeting that you're a little bit anxious about, The tools of UZIT are very effective in creating that grounding, that calm, that focus. So Rodney and I have 3 daughters and a son. The girls are uncomfortable every month with cramps, with nausea, with aches, with pains, and even with a little bit of emotional agitation. So we would put them in a restorative pose. We would give them some essential oil. We would place our hands on them in the Reiki positions. And it was so effective that even teenage girls would ask their parents to do this for them every month. And now during the COVID pandemic, we've realized again and again how needed the UZIT methodology is. We've worked with frontliners. We've worked with just people in their homes that are so fearful and full of anxiety and loneliness, because we can now spread this virtually. And we're doing that with our trainings. They can be taught virtually and in person. We really want to bring this program, these tools, to everyone, because UZIT is for everyone, anywhere and anytime. The future of UZIT is you. Thank you for joining this training. It will bring much needed relief to yourself and to others.